Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers excited about practice squad edge rusher options. Mike Tomlin is excited to see what the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad pass rushers have to offer. The fan base probably isn't quite as thrilled. Missing three of the team's top four edge rushers in Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith, and DeMarvin Leal, the Steelers will have to find new faces to fill those shoes for their Sunday game against the Las Vegas Raiders. During his weekly press conference, Tomlin said it'll be a big week for those who have been working on the scout team defense. "I'm excited about continuing with that strategic process with our staff," Tomlin said via the Steelers' YouTube channel Tuesday. "And then the physical preparation process with some guys tomorrow. Man, it's a big day maybe for some edge rushers like Adetokunbo Ogundeji and Aku Leota, who just got here. Maybe one or two of those guys will get an opportunity to elevate and be a component of our plans this week." Herbig is out with a hamstring injury suffered in the second half of Sunday's loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Highsmith will be out for his third straight game after aggravating a training camp groin injury during the Steelers' Week 3 win over the Los Angeles Chargers. And Leal suffered a stinger/neck injury in the fourth quarter of the Cowboys game, leaving the team with only Jeremiah Moon and TJ Watt as the team's available outside linebackers to finish the game. And so Pittsburgh turns to the practice squad. Ogundeji was signed to the Steelers' practice squad on August 30th. Far from a household name, he has NFL experience. A fifth-round pick from Notre Dame drafted by the Atlanta Falcons in 2021, Ogundeji, best known as Ade, made 27 starts for the Falcons across his first two seasons. His production was light with 3 sacks, but he has over 1,000 career defensive snaps. A 2023 injury cost him the entire season, and the Falcons released him at final cutdowns this summer before the Steelers scooped him up. Our scouting report soured on his athleticism but praised his run defense. Leota was signed exactly 1 week ago as depth following Highsmith's injury. Our pre-draft scouting report compared him to Highsmith and saw traits that would translate to Pittsburgh's system. He also brings NFL experience, though not to the degree of Ogundeji. Undrafted in 2023, Leota's appeared in 10 games, including 2 this season with the Carolina Panthers. He picked up a sack before being cut by Carolina. The Steelers' job is to get them ready again. "Oftentimes I say there's a fine line between being a practice squatter and a Pro Bowler," Tomlin said. "And sometimes it's just opportunity. And so we'll lean in on the week with that spirit." Tomlin also said that DL Isaiah Loudermilk is under consideration to play edge snaps. Like Leal, he offers some versatility though not the athleticism that made Leal a more attractive option. Pittsburgh will have by Saturday at 4 p.m./EST to decide who will be elevated from the practice squad and make their Steelers debut versus the Raiders. It's far from ideal, but the NFL is never about fairness or perfection. Every year, some position group gets rocked with injuries. Last year, it was inside linebacker and safety. This year, it's the edge rushers. That's especially troubling, considering that position is the engine of the Steelers' defense, the unit that makes it go. As we noted this morning, Pittsburgh will have to come up with a different and likely blitz-heavy approach to bring pressure. Takeaways from Tomlin. It wasn't just a loss that dropped the Steelers to 3-2, it was a loss that exposed mighty flaws. "Whether I'd been blind or just unwilling to see, there are real problems here. Can they be fixed by trading away a valuable draft pick for a real and needed playmaker? If they think so, that's a gamble. If they don't think so, they would just be calling it quits on the season." With that in mind, here's a breakdown of the weekly Mike Tomlin press conference. While the 2024 Ole Miss Rebels perform on Saturdays, 22 former players are working on Sundays, while an additional 8 players are also on NFL rosters either on the practice squad or on injured reserve. As far as success at the NFL level, 315 Rebels have been taken in the draft since 1936, with 31 of them being selected to participate in at least one Pro Bowl. Ole Miss boasts 23 first-round draft picks and 18 players with a Super Bowl ring, with quarterback great Eli Manning having 2 rings in addition to his 2 Super Bowl MVP honors. The Rebels also have 3 former players enshrined in Canton, those being Bruiser Kennard, 1970, Gene Hickerson, 2007, and most recently Patrick Willis, 2024. Every week, Inside the Rebels will keep you up to date on what former Ole Miss Rebels are doing in the league currently and where they are at as the season progresses. On Sunday, Tavius Robinson recorded his first sack of the 2024 season, while former 4th-round pick and edge rusher Marquis Haynes got picked up by the Carolina Panthers practice squad late last week. Haynes was a 2018 pick of the organization. He has 14.0 sacks in 71 career games. His most productive season was 2022, when he had 5.0 sacks and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Steelers received great news regarding a potential Davante Adams trade. The Pittsburgh Steelers have some clear weaknesses that are coming to light just 5 games into the 2024 season. Depth is becoming an issue along the offensive line, at outside linebacker and cornerback. However, wide receiver is the position that needs to be addressed the most. George Pickens played great at the beginning of the season, but he put forth a fairly uninspiring performance in Week 5. The NFL's trade deadline is quickly approaching, and General Manager Omar Khan may need to go shopping to shore up the wide receiver group. Steelers Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan after the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft. An interesting name that is available on the trading block is star receiver Davante Adams. He has grown unhappy with the Las Vegas Raiders and had a falling out with the organization just a few weeks ago. This led to the receiver requesting a trade. Adams has a pair of preferred destinations where he would like to land, which include the New York Jets and the New Orleans Saints. NFL insider Adam Schefter went on NFL Live on Tuesday and shared his belief that trade talks have slowed down between the Raiders and those two organizations. Davante Adams obviously would like to be in New Orleans, would like to be in New York with the Jets, there has been discussions. But, I think the events in New York and the events in New Orleans may have slowed down talks with those two teams, and we'll see if and when they can pick up steam because everybody does expect that Adams will be traded, we just don't know where or when. The Jets are going through a head coaching change, New Orleans has an injured quarterback, and we'll see how that impacts Davante Adams going forward. The whole reason Adams would prefer to be sent to the Jets or the Saints is to reunite with one of his former quarterbacks. He spent his college career and a season in the NFL with Derek Carr, and he spent the majority of his NFL career with Aaron Rodgers while both players were with the Green Bay Packers. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Davante Adams? Leave your opinion in the comments.